Well, good morning, everybody. How you all doing? Whittler Dave here. I hope everybody's having a great morning and everything. Just out in the wood shop. It's a decent morning out here in the mountains. Let's get you a little closer. There we go. It's a decent morning out. Birds are cheeping. Sun's coming up in the mountains. Lord, I like that. Yes, I do. But anywho, I thought today I took a barn down years ago, about 100 miles from my house. A lady called me and had this barn had been standing for over 100 years, and they were getting ready to bulldoze the thing. So I took down what I could take, because I'm by myself, and about drug my truck bumper out of there because I found amazing wood up in the barn. And you got to realize, when a barn was built, whatever region it's in, they're going to use whatever's there. They didn't have big box stores back then like Lowe's and Home Depot and 84 Lumber or any other of the stores and everything. So around here, we have a lot of cedar, walnut, oak naturally, some poplar. But when I was up there it was in Rogersville, Tennessee, and I was up there and I just about passed out, because holding up the haylofts and a lot of the big main beams were these huge cedar timbers. I mean, huge. I'd like to die getting them out, getting them in my truck, but I did. So I've been ripping the old cedar. It's over 100 years old. And this stuff is very old, and I still got a lot of it left, and I still make cedar bows, and I'll do a lot of the little cedar statues, and I make all kinds of things. I love carving cedar. It's an unforgiving wood because it can split. Cedar can open up in the grain. Then you got to know how to fix it. You don't want to throw it away. You put all that work in it. So you gotta understand cedar. And where I'm originally from, the most popular wood there is naturally a lot of poplar. And a lot of the barns were built out of poplar. And there was chestnut there, and actually oak and hickory, but a lot of poplar. So a lot of our barns were built out of poplar. And a lot of people say, well, I ain't never heard of a barn using cedar. Well, like I said, you have to realize it's what region you have. Whatever's out in the woods, they cut. It didn't matter. They weren't choosy back then. They needed a barn, so they built a barn. Went out in the woods, cut the wood down. Didn't really matter what it was. They cut it, they built it, they framed it. So I was lucky enough to get some cedar. So I've done the cap years ago. And see, I love the white. And everybody thinks, well, did you glue that white in? No, that's all God-given. It's all in there. It's all God-given. And this is just a folk art cat and everything. Just simple stuff, I have a guy on here, and yes, I am going to do some more detailed carving. But right now I'm in my show season, and I'm trying to get things done and everything. And being that, I have to get a lot of things, ready for different shows, because this is a tourist town. This is how I make extra money off of tourists. So they don't, they want little knockoffs and stuff and everything. So we're just going to actually set the lines. You've heard me say this before, and you can put this tail at any angle you want. It doesn't really matter. This is just a little folk art kitty. There's no eyes or nothing like that. Now I want the white to be my focal point. That's the front of the cat. So that's definite. So anywho, we need to set those lines. We need to get the shoulder right here for the cat and everything. Got to get that set, all that. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for liking my videos and everything. And, I ask everybody out there to really help me out. When you like my video, share it. And please leave a comment, because I'm trying to build this channel and everything, and I want a good family channel. You're not going to hear me using cuss words or nothing on my channel. I'm not like that. I want something that's really good family oriented, where your kids can sit down and watch an old man carve, and you don't have to worry about using foul language. That's not my channel. I'm not like that. I always say please and thank you, and I want everybody to have a better and a blessed day than I do. I do. I want everybody to be happy and just enjoy what I do, and maybe, and like I said, maybe, you know, somebody would just carry this on. Now, that's good enough. We just set the head down, as you can tell. There's your shoulder and everything. So let's try to get this thing where I can hold it. You know, got to get that set down. We're going to create a stop cut. Built another Texas flag yesterday. I have to put the backing on it, and I had some good customers come to my house and everything. And I have another guy that is coming here, and he, I tell you, Google Maps is working for me and everything, because you know he found me on Google Maps, and he's going to be coming to Tennessee, and he's already contacted me, and I love it. I mean, the more the merrier in my life. He's a beginner whittler, and he's going to come and set and whittle with me. You know? I see we just set the tail. You know? Just, you know, very simple. You can't go wrong, can't go right with these. But like I said, I'm in my show season, and I understand, you know, I will do some more harder and detailed carving and stuff. But right now, it's, you know, I'm trying to make a buck. You know, just like anybody else out in this world, we're trying to survive. That's all we're trying to do. See, we're going to cut some of that white away. I got to try to leave, I'll probably leave more of the white down here because there's not very much white in the tail, unfortunately. I wish there was, but there's not. And this is how the eye will, how you see it. You know, it's how your eye, you know, you can do this little cat and make it your own, and you know, you can change the flow of the tail and this, that, but it's how you perceive it. That's what carving is. It's how you do. Let's see, look, I made that a little bit deeper. I brought it around this way. You know, take little cuts, take your time. Don't put the cart before the horse. Just take little cuts. You're going to turn this cat 14,000 times before you're finally done. And like I said, I don't do it hardly at all, but always know where your center is. And, you know, just know where that center is. You know, I should have showed you that. Keep that in your mind. Let's just draw that center there. Okay, you know where it is, folks. That kind of gives you a visual. Now, let's get the back part. It's a pretty good tight piece of cedar here. I had a bunch of chunks. I tell you what, I don't like to waste wood, and so I rigged things up on my bandsaw. I don't recommend anybody to ever do what I do because it's not the most safest way, but I make jigs and I cut unsquare wood because, you know, I don't like to waste wood. Would I recommend it? Nope. Have I been doing it for a long time? Yep. Have I made mistakes? Oh, Lord, yeah. Yeah, I have. No one's perfect. So, I wasn't happy enough to yesterday till I stuck a knife in my hand right there. Yeah, we still do it. It aggravates me more than anything than it happening. You know, it does. You can't cry over spilt milk. You just got to get up and clean it up. Now see, we're just kind of setting this tail. A little here, a little there. Kind of roughing the profile in. That's all we're doing. I love the smell of cedar. I tell people cedar's my cologne. I smell like cedar constantly because I carve tons and tons of cedar. And then I had a guy yesterday from Georgia. Now this ain't old cedar, but you know, he had seen me over here carving last year, and he came over, and I welcomed him in my shop, and You know, he's Southern, I'm Southern, and he said when he comes back, he'll bring me some wood. Well, he brought me a bunch of cut-offs of cedar, drops, what we used to call it. This is what people would throw away. Well, I don't throw nothing like that away. And so I've got that in my basement right now, and I have an old cellar basement. It's pretty dry. The guy cut this log a long time ago, and it's been laying around in his yard, so I won't have to let it dry like normal wood. And cedar dries anyway fast. You know, I haven't took a reading of it yet, but just picking it up, holding it, I can tell that it's extremely, it's about there. I see we're just knocking all the corners off. We're going to get this little folk art kitty, you know, just shaped up here. I told you, it don't, and he's going to probably set more off to this side than this side because there's that white. And I like that white. You heard me say that. Yeah. There we go. I finally crossed over into Canada. A guy had contacted me, said he liked my videos, and wow, that really, for an old man that don't know nothing about electronics, and he's just trying in this world, I was really pleased and happy to see that. And I deeply, if the man is watching it right now, I'm not going to give out his name or nothing, but if the man is watching it right now, you know, just know that really made me happy. It really did. And like I said, I just asked everybody that gets on here and, you know, push that like button, share my videos. Let's get this channel out there. Let's get it out there where everybody can see it. Everybody can see that, you know, woodworking is fun and it's relaxing, and you can be proud. You don't have to be perfect. You know, you'll hear me say that all the time. A mistake is not a mistake. It's a learning curve. We all make them. Like I said, I've been carving since I was a kid, and I knew better, and I stuck that blade right there in that hand. That was my mistake yesterday. Am I going to repeat it today? Lord, no. Nope. You know, I was just not paying attention, and whoop, bright and early, the old knife-a-roo bit me. It sure did. That's all right. You gotta crawl before you can walk. But I always tell everybody. Let's see, we're just simple little kitty. Be going back to a Burger King Sunday, I believe. I like going on Sundays. I have a good friend of mine meets me there in the morning. We can chit chat and everything for a few, and then he goes on down the road. And I've known him. Well, I think he's one of the second people I met when I moved to Tennessee. He'd been here over 40 years, so he knew a lot of knowledge about Tennessee. And I met him on a kind of a strange way. I was sitting in McDonald's carving, like I said. I used to carve for them, and he come in. He was kind of aggravated, and his name is Bob. And I said, "Well, Bob, what's wrong?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing." And I said, "No, what's wrong?" And he goes, "Well, you know, he has a bunch of rental properties up on the mountain, and he had a toilet that was stopped up." And I said, "Well, that ain't nothing. You know, I did toilets in my business and everything." And he goes, "No, and this man don't do any maintenance. He's strictly a businessman." He goes, "No, the plumber can't come for another 3 weeks." And I'm like, 3 weeks? Well, that's stupid. That's just not, that's not feasible for me. So I packed up my tools and I said, "Let's go." And he goes, "Where are we going?" I said, "Take me up there to your cabin and let me look at this toilet." You know, I did plumbing in my business for years. So I went up there and I jerked the toilet off the floor and stuff, and I seen the problem. Somebody had put a Dixie cup, flushed a Dixie cup in the toilet, and it was backing it up. That's the only thing wrong. So I pulled that out, and we run back down the mountain and went to the Ace, and I picked up a new wax ring and went ahead and picked up some new inside pieces because they were old, and new flushing valves and all that, and ran back up there and with Bob, and I put the toilet back together and we've been friends ever since. And he looks at me and he goes, well, how much do I owe you, Dave? And I said, nothing. I said, you can buy me a cup of coffee. And that's how we paid for it. You know, the moral of this story is life shouldn't be all about money. You know, you should be willing to help somebody. We need to get back to that, folks. I will help anybody. Okay, we have a slight problem. Where'd it go? We have a little piece break off. This right here is breaking off. I don't like that. So I lost a piece down here. I'm going to have to fix it. And there's ways. Let me see something here, folks. Can I redraw this? And save the cat. That's a cedar for you. I thought it fell here on the floor. I didn't see it when it did. I may have to... How am I going to fix this? Let's just see something. Take you off. Let's see. Can I fix you? Yeah. He may have a short foot. You know, that's what I said. Woodworking's woodworking. Sometimes, you know, I may have to put him on a pedestal. Or glue him down because his little foot, it just naturally cracks off. It's just cedar. That's how cedar is. We talked about that. It can be unforgiving. Yeah, he's going to be fine. See? I fixed him. And he's going to stand. He's fine. Like I said, there's no right, no wrong. I just happened to look down there and I noticed it cracked. Yeah, I can fix it. I've been doing it too long to say uncle. Yeah, we're just going to take it in right here. Give it some more profile right off the side. And like I said, it's just a folk art cat. It don't have to, it ain't going to have everything. You know, toenailies or nothing, no little shape. It's just a folk art. That's all it is. Yeah, very simple. Mowed my yard, part of it yesterday. Haven't mowed since my surgery, so I mean, I thank everybody that came over and mowed my yard. But you know what? A man's yard is a man's yard. And he's got a certain way that he likes to mow, a certain height. And I've been mowing since I was a kid. So, you know, like I said, I have a certain way. So, but I didn't mow it all yet. I took a break. That's kind of rare for the old man, but I did take a break, and today I'm going to mow the back half, I believe. And then my wife, when she's off Sunday, she'll mow this little hill out here. I got two little hills that I can't really push right now. Pull and push. So she'll mow that, or my neighbor over here will mow it for me. And then it'll be done. And I rebuilt my weed eater. Yeah, I told you I don't throw nothing away. And I have a battery-operated weed eater because I don't have much to weed eat. And it's not really heavy on my back. And I've had it for several years. Well, the thing just kept dying. It just wouldn't start. So I thought, well, let's take the handle apart, see what's in there. Well, one thing I could determine where the battery slides in, these little prongs had gotten stretched out after all the years you've been shoving that battery in there. So I thought, let's pull them in there and see if that helps. So I took a pair of pliers and pulled them together, and Lord, it fires up now and works just fine. So I saved over $100 and some. But that's what we used to do. We didn't, I just don't live in a society that you just throw it away. Nope, I fix things. Just like my big fancy dryer in there. It went out, and I called around, and they said, well, them dryers are notorious for that. And, at its age, you might as well just throw it away and go out and spend another $1,000. I'm like, no. So I Googled, and I did have to use that crazy Google, and I found parts store that sold parts. So I bought them, and I took it apart, and I fixed it myself. And I spent $124 instead of $1,000. So I'm an old maintenance man. We just don't say uncle. Nope. No, we don't. There's no sense to. Yeah. We're just going to kind of make his head round. Like I said, he's just a folk art. We can't cut that way. He's not wanting to cut. You got to watch this cedar. You seen what happened on the little foot? I had to make a pedestal out of him and save the kitty. I knew a carver one time, and God, he was phenomenal. He was just wonderful. But he drove me nuts because he could carve, but he would carve with a mic. He would mic everything. He would size it up, and I'm going to tell you what, this thing could be the most awesomest carving you've ever seen in your life. And of course, this is to his eye, is how he's seen it. And if it wasn't to his standards, he would walk over to a saw and saw it up and start over. I don't care if he had 3 weeks to a month in it. He would just start over, and he would have started over on this. He would have threw it away. Nope. That kitty's in there. So I'm not going to start over at all. You just have to, like I said, you got to clean up the spill. You spill the milk, you just clean it up. See, I hit that root, that knot right there. Root. Lord have mercy, Dave. See how the breast is? It's just rounded over. That's all it is. These things are extremely simple. These are, something if you're sitting around whittling, stuff like that, with your buddy or whatever, and you can pull out this, just whittle you up something. It doesn't take that long. And like I said, if you have a mistake, you just got to look at it and think, what am I going to do? I have a statue right over there, and I'm carving in the face of the guy cracked. And so I took, and I sawed it off and re-glued it. And, it happens, and then I'll fix it, and you will never know. You just won't know at all. There you go. Let's get some of these two. Let's look at this thing. It needs to be more this way. So I'm going to take that head that way more. There you go. I'll tell you what, I've been checking on my Facebook thing, seeing a lot of my friends. I didn't know half my friends were old. Their kids were that old. A lot of people are graduating, and I want to tell everybody out there that has graduated, you remember one thing. You're freshly out of school, and I'll tell you what, you hold the key to your life. And now what I mean by that is that you can do anything that you set your mind to. If you want to fly rockets, well, learn to fly rockets. Go somewhere, get training, and fly. If you want to fly a helicopter, do it. Whatever you want. You're young, and the biggest thing is if you fail, get back up. Because you really didn't fail. You're trying. And so get out there and believe in yourself. And I'm proud of every, young man and young woman that has graduated, and going to college. That's not for everybody. That's not. I didn't go to college. I went to Country Boy Hard Knocks. That's my college. But I just want to say I want to thank everybody out there that's graduated. You're inspiring everybody. And you can be anything. You can be a doctor. You can be a lawyer. It's whatever you want. You just got to believe in yourself. You're going to have hardships and you're going to have mistakes and stuff like that. But, that's life. I'm 60 years old and, there's mistakes. We all make mistakes. Yes, we do. There you go. See, this little darling did not take long, did it? Oh, just do a little sand job and go get in here. I'm probably going to use that razor knife because that is some bad grain in there. And I just sharpened this thing, and I got some other carving I'm going to be doing after a while. And I really don't want to doll it. No, I don't. Oh, mercy. It's here pretty soon. Get out in the mountains and bring my wife, and we'll go outside where it's peaceful, and you know, all you're going to hear is just, you may hear birds and stuff, and you'll have some beautiful scenery and stuff like that. And, yeah, this mountain. I moved here for the mountains. All right, I'm not going to doll this knife. I'm just not, you know, I don't, it's got to reach into here. Can you see, folks? It's going to be kind of hard because I got to get my big old hands around it. Hear how rough that is? It's going all against that grain, and that's what's going to happen to your knife. Dragging that knife across there. And in my eyes, like I said, it's just not worth it. I may be wrong. It's not for everybody. It's like my lathe over there. I'm not a professional lathe person, and I have traditional tools, and I have carbine. Because there's some things that, you know, I have found that they didn't have carbine tools back when I was a kid, but man, I wish they did. Because, yeah, when I do play on the lathe, and that's all I am, I just like, it's a glorified retirement. That's all I bought the lathe for, just to have fun. I have not been on it in 2 years. I have been so busy with other things and life and just this and that, and I'm going to try to get on it this summer. It's just sitting over there idle. I've got a couple bows that detonated, and I have come up with a way to attach them to the lathe because I want to finish them. Yeah, one of them flew off and smacked me in the face. Thank God I had my, you know, actually my respirator, and I had my helmet on. You should never turn without a helmet. It's awful dangerous, folks. Turning at that much RPM, it'd take your head off. Badly. There you go. I'll tell you this, this little project just didn't, you know, it ain't bad. This ain't no hard carving, no detail. This is just a carving. This is. It is. Very simple little carving. Oh, we gotta go the other way. Yes. Yeah, looky there. A little taily. Like I said, this is the front of the cat. I love that white. I had somebody ask me one time, they go, "Did you glue that white in?" I'm like, "No, sir, it's all God-given." Have anybody's ever seen purple in cedar? I have. It's very rare to find. I would love to have a ton of it. It's like finding blue merle poplar. Oh, that's pretty. It makes beautiful furniture. Even blue merle in pine, another beautiful piece of furniture maker. You know, you can make furniture out of that. Yeah. Just a quick one. See? He did not take long, did he, folks? Put that line down like that instead of being straight across. Looks better just down at an angle. Like I said, he would have had, hang on folks, he would have had more of a foot, but things happen. Let's see what this thing's going to look like. I need to get, hang on folks, I need to get a piece of sandpaper here and just check out the lines. I told you, just keep your piece of sandpaper, and that's going to tell you a lot. Is that old sandaroo right there. Yeah, that little foot's going to be fine enough. I was determined if I had to glue another piece of wood to it, because I would have. Look how pretty that white is. What this is going to tell me if I want to thin it down anymore. And I see a lot just by giving a little sandaroo here. Little sandaroo, little sandaroo. I'm sorry, folks. I know I can't sing. I should just stick to carving, shouldn't I? Carving or building. Let's see. It shows me everything I need to be seen here. Shows me a couple spots. I got what we call a flat spot right there. Maybe I'll take it out a little bit with the sandpaper. It's kind of flat right there. Lay that down just a little bit more, folks. Get a little square spot on his backside. Yeah. Well, I like using sandpaper. It can just tell me a lot of little whoopsies. Whoopsies, I missed that. Didn't see it, now I do. We went from a square piece of wood to just a general shape of a folk art cat. That's what these are. I grew up with folk art. I love folk art. I've been doing it from knee-high to grasshopper. I found some of my original drawings when I was probably 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. I found a portfolio of mine that when I moved here, there's peacocks. I used to do peacocks and just all kinds of things. Brought back a lot of memories of them old drawings. Wouldn't take nothing for them. Nope. I was very young and still, you're still learning. It don't matter how old you are. But I was really still learning back then. I was trying to find myself. What type of artist I am, why I see this, why I feel this way. I didn't know so much back then. Now I do. I understand a lot. The way I feel, the way I see life, the way I see, a true artist to me is, we look at, mud, water, the sky, everything is totally different. We see beauty in just about anything, shapes and everything. And I know I ain't very good with, with words and stuff. It's hard for me to explain, but there's times I can stare at the sky and I see it. I see stuff. And everybody goes, "What you looking at?" I said, look how beautiful it is. You see, and sometimes they think I'm nuts. Like, I don't see anything. It's the sky. Like, well, you may not see it, but I do. And that's how I've always been. It's just hard to explain. Very hard to explain. You know. Well, like I said, just a simple little folk art cat. There is nothing really hard here. I see a couple little spots here I don't like right here by the tail. We can fix that. Like I said, I use that sandpaper. A little uppercut here, just a little undersweep of this knife here. Yeah. Then you get your sandpaper out and you see what you did. And see if you like it. You can take more, or is it just fine? I think it's just fine because this makes that tail swoop. It's this makes it a little swoop and all that. Excuse me, folks. Sanding that old cedar, it can get to you. All right, see? He's simple. It was just a piece of cedar. It's over 100 years old. Out of an old barn in Rogersville, Tennessee. I took it down. And there's beauty. You know, I seen this chunk of wood and I knew it wasn't the greatest, but, you know, like I said, the foot broke off. Okay, who cares? Excuse me, folks. Who cares? I don't. No, so what, it broke off. Let me show you that Texas flag. Let me get you up here. Let me show you that Texas flag, because I got to get going in the shop. I've got several things I need to get done today and build. You know, all that good stuff. Let's get you up here. I'm sorry, folks. But I got several things I need to get done. All kinds of things, but it's not done. It's one of my, I still got to put the boards on the back of it and everything. There it is. Very simple. I'll put the cleats on the back and everything. This one's all, it's got a little wave to it. And I draw that little funky little star, and I love funky little stars, and it's whimsical. And I'll do some loving on it. I'll add the boards to the back and sand it and all this and that and all that hoodooties and everything. And there will be. Just a simple flag. Let's put it back over here. I've got it roughly glued together. Oh, look at this, folks. I finally finished it up. I did this a long time ago. I haven't got it finished. You know, finally put the bee on it. See the little bee? See the little bee? And it's just, I made the board myself. It looks like an old barn wood. Very simple. And it's just, I love the little bee. He's flying over the sunflower. But yeah, he's just, you know, simple. It hangs on the back of the wall and everything. But this is not barn wood at all. I created all this. Did the painting, did the texturing, and all that. It's just so simple, you know. That's what I like. I like simple art now. Like I said, I spent years of doing stuff for people, and, you know, carving and making extreme carvings and stuff like that. And it's all good. It's all good, but I'm just to a point in my life that, you know, there's more to life than just stressing over one thing. You know, let's just have fun. Let's have some fun carvings or fun builds or fun something. You know, my biggest thing for this channel is, you know, I just want to get people out there, and I stress every time. I don't care if you're an artist or you're not, and you're just try. That's it. That you know, you got my respect. And like I said, anybody that watches my videos, God, I appreciate it, Lord. I do. And the only thing I ask is, please give me a like. A share would be wonderful. And a comment. That's, you know, that's what I need. I need more shares and more likes and more comments. It's going to help this grow. I want to build a good family channel. I want more people coming to my house. You know, like I said, I am on Google Maps. And most of the time, I'm here at home. I'm right here, you know, so I'm easy to be found. My shop's right here by my house. So most of all day, I'll be right here. So I'm not hard to find. But anywho, I just want to say thank you all. I appreciate everybody that's, like I said, it's been giving me likes. Like I said, I was really amazed to cross over into Canada. That just blew me away. It really did. It really made an old man happy. So, anywho, I just want to say thank you. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will just talk to you later.